Welcome to Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis. All right, guys, so a lot of people have been asking me, like, what are the best rackets for flat hitters? I was like, how about a wood? Stay tuned. All right, guys, so good morning to everybody out there. Coffee in hand, nice and hot. Almost burning my hand right now. Woo. Like it fresh, like it hot, just like you know. Shout out and thank you to Morning Roast coffee sponsor Caleb Speck. Caleb Speck says, love the show. Please don't stop putting out content. Oh, thank you, Caleb. Thank you for the coffee. Love you. Thank you for your support. Much appreciated. If you want to support my piping hot dark roast habit, network is buymeacoffee.com/tennis spin. Thank you all in advance for keeping me going. That's hot today. Okay. All right, guys. So a bunch of you have messaged me saying, what is the best racket for flat hitters? Okay. So I just wanted to let you know, even if you categorize yourself as, a top spin hitter or, slice and dice or, kind of an all court type of a player, most of us hit a flat shot about 50% of the time. Yes, it is true. When all those attached things were out, whether it was the play racket from Babolat, the Sony deal, the Zep deal, or any of the other, what do they call it? Attached or connected sensors. When we looked at the data on those, even for myself, although I hold it like this, right? Semi-Western, full Western, extreme Western. The data actually showed that when we came through, when we came through the ball, right, that the racket was actually coming through like this. The ball left like that, and then we finished like that. Although it looks like we're doing this, right, like this, at contact, you're actually flattening out and then bringing it up like that. So the sensors read at least half the time that you're hitting the ball flat. So even though you don't categorize yourself as a flat hitter, I would say half our shots, if not more, according to the data, we're hitting a flat ball. Okay, so keep that in mind, even though you don't think you are. With that said, though, something like that, right? Think about this. If you're a flat hitter, you're only going to hit one spot on that racket because it's a tip like Nadal. I mean, that's an extreme, obviously. Nadal is actually going like this, right? So it's actually impacting, making string snap, and then letting go like that, and then the ball's gone. I mean, it's like hundreds of a second. We, on the other hand, we're going to come through. By the time we actually start sweeping up, ball's already gone. So it's going to hit the 2-3 strings and just release. So it's a different shot. They're pros. So that's why I brought this out, because essentially you're hitting into that sweet spot that's about that big pretty consistently. So flat ball hitter, go with a flat paddle. Yeah, no one's buying it. Okay, I get it. Okay, so let's go into the rackets here. In my particular theory, I like slightly heavier rackets with a denser string pattern. And my thought behind that is the typical flat hitter will want to feel the racket in their hand, right? Because you're going to hit it straight back and straight through. And that's the traditional continental grip to Eastern grip, maybe semi-West on that. And you want to feel the head, and you want to feel the path, and you want to feel the giving, and then the launching. And then the ball releases. In order to feel all that, you want a heavier frame. Why do you want more strings though? To keep the ball a little more in control. Because the knit of the strings, right, is tighter. You get more strings on that ball. Therefore, you can control the depth a little easier. Understand? The less strings there is, the more springier it is. So therefore, you're allowed to hit a little more freely when there's more strings in there. Plus, you won't break as many strings because you ain't hitting with a lot of spin anyways. Okay? So I'm going to start with basically 1820s first and tell you why. Okay? So since I have this one in hand, and they're in no particular order. They're in no particular order. I just like these four for that particular reason. Slightly heavier, more strings. You can keep the ball at your depth a little easier, okay? So we got Speed Pro here. Definitely 1820. Definitely like an intermediate, advanced type level racket. Pretty evenly balanced, pretty easy to maneuver and hit. I would have liked this to be a little heavier, and especially heavier in the head, but I get it. You know, we got to get the racket around. Not everybody's like me and like a 2x4. Nice flexible frame, easy to control, right? If you want to bring the racket around, it's not hard, okay? And you're welcome to swing freely with this, and for the most part, it's going to stay in, okay? Just because of the nature of this racket. All right, so that's, like I said, no particular order, guys. Now, sticking with head, Gravity Pro. Okay, another 18x20 frame. Now, this particular one is more flexible because of the shape, because of how it basically is shaped, is why it flexes more. So if you want more control, again, if you want to sweep through the ball and swing through the ball, this would be an ideal one for you. If you play on clay conditions and you have to basically swing, you know, to get the ball to penetrate through the court after it bounces, something like this will allow you to do that. Okay, so swing freely, swing flat freely. Great option, great option. Now, V-Core Pro 97D, the dense one, guys, the dense one. I love the weight in this one. It's 11.3 ounces, which in grams is 320. That's before strings. I love the overall weight in this one. This one, when you get it strung and you add the extra string weight in there, it just kind of helps you push through the ball. So ideally, I like this particular weight. So if you're a flat hitter, continental to Eastern grip, this would be an ideal choice, guys. I would probably choose this one for myself, okay? Easy to use. You know it's going to finish up for you. And it's going to flex and keep the ball in. Now, for most people I see out there on the junior college ranks, 1820 blade, right? Ideal. Just easy. It's on the lighter side at 10.8, right? 10.8. It's always fluctuating between 10.7 and 10.8, so I had to look. I just want to make sure it was a 10.8 and not 7 this time. Easily customizable, right? I see all these blades, got lead all over the place, head, handle, whatever. So I think this one's built to be customized. Because everybody I know puts lead on this thing. Easy to come around when you want spin, but if your shot is traditional and flat, right? Easy choice, guys. Okay, now those are my 1820s, and those are the ones that I definitely recommend for the traditional flat hitter. Now, these guys over here, if you want something heavier that's not an 1820, right? Strike Tour, okay? Well balanced, easy power, comes through the ball pretty easily. You can kind of control the depth with the flexibility of this frame, and you can actually feel the head, which is what I like about this racket. I'm not thrilled with how it feels, but I mean, that's just my personal deal. But it plays very, very well. Okay, so again, flat hitters, we like weight. And this has it. Speaking of weight, right? The ultimate flat hitter's racket that's not dense. How about that puppy right there? The Fed. So definitely old school hitters, people my age from the 80s and 90s, right? We know we continental grip this sucker like a wooden racket, and we can easily control depth, easily control spin when we want it, and just straight back, straight through, right? We know what's gonna happen, right? It's flexible. We can hammer the ball and it'll hopefully stay in, right? For those of us who can't handle this weight, go with the regular. Okay, both 16 by 19, definitely way heavier, but again, that's how we want it. Flat hitters usually want weight. Okay, so these are my racket suggestions for flat hitters. Try them out and see what you like. All right, thank you for watching Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis. Hey, Coach Rob, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing, Harry?
I had a pretty tough week.
A lot of rackets.
Oh man, I don't even know what day it is.
A lot of dumb questions.
Oh, you wouldn't believe it. But I'm so glad to have you out here today with me.
Yeah, looking forward to hitting.
Yeah, you wouldn't believe how hard it is for me to find a game.
Wow, that's surprising.
Well, that's why I have you, Coach Rob. So if you're having problems looking for a game, looking for a coach, looking for somebody to play with, try out playyourcourt.com. They'll have tennis buddies for you, matches buddies for you that match well with you. If you need your very own Coach Rob, they'll have that person for you too. And it's playyourcourt.com/tennis spin for half off. Link is below. Let's get going, Coach Rob.
Let's do it.